Hello all. In this video I have a new technique for you using thin metal cutting dies as hot foil stamps. It's a cool technique and it can give some great foiled edge effects to your nesting dies. For this, obviously I'm going to be using some hot foil. I will also be using some dies. Now these can be any dies. The plainer the background the better, as in I'll show you the cutting edge first, so you can see that here's the circle with its sort of outline and then the cutting edge. What we're going to be using though is the back side of that die, so it's basically the plain edge. Therefore, if you've got a die with lots of release holes, that's not so great because it will leave all of those details behind. Nesting dies, therefore, are probably some of the best to work with. Okay, for the setup, I've got my thin metal plate that usually comes with the Go-Cut and Emboss machine, and I've also got a sheet of maybe around 240-250 GSM cardstock. I've positioned the cardstock underneath the metal shim, and then onto the metal shim I will position the cardstock that I want to foil. Then I'll put the foil down with the adhesive side facing the cardstock. And then I'm going to place the die down with the cutting edge facing away from the foil, so just that plain back is sitting on top of the foil, as you can see here. Now I'll close that up and let it sit for around 60 seconds, maybe even 2 minutes, just to really sort of get that heat through the cardstock and fusing the foiling adhesive onto the card. I'm then going to give it a pass through my Go-Cut and Emboss die cutting machine. Once that's gone through, I'll return the GoPress and Foil to its docking station and move my die cutting machine out of the way. And then I can bring my cardstock onto my work mat, move the die out of the way, and then reveal the foiling. Perfect. I'll give you a closer look so you can see what that looks like. Nice thick foiled border. Now that's great as it is, however, we can now use that die to cut this shape out. All we do is turn it over so that the cutting edge is facing towards the cardstock. Position it exactly over that foiling, and then use a couple of bits of low tack tape, washi tape or whatever you normally use to hold that die in position, and then we will pass that through our die cutting machine using the regular sandwich that you would use for thin metal cutting dies. I'll just gently tease that out, and there, perfectly die cut, perfectly foiled edge on a nesting die or a panel or a plaque or anything else you fancy really. And there's a closer look so you can see the detail of that foiling. Thank you for watching. Obviously, if you have liked this video, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up. Also, if you enjoy anything in arts and crafts, then please don't forget to subscribe to this channel. My name is John Bloodworth, Gentleman Crafter. I thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you again next time.